Hey, hey, hey! Get rid of this. What just happened? What just happened here? Oh, that's what happened. Okay. I'm on the wrong channel. Ah! In my StreamYard, I've got three different. I got brand one, which will be let's see, it'll be, oh, that ain't gonna show it. It'll be the background for the new podcast, and apparently I lost everything for my thingy. Oh well. Oh well. Let me go ahead and get a banner up here. How y'all doing? We are doing fine. Hey, he finally came through. Nightbot, -7 here, Celsius 19 Fahrenheit. Yeah, mostly cloudy. That's the day I've had. Hey, old man King, how's it going? Guys, tonight I am excited. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, my branding is all off. Let's see here. Let's go back to the Homestead Centric show. Yeah. Okay. But it won't give me my video backgrounds are now supported in the studio. Bubbles. Well, it won't give me, all my backgrounds are gone. Oh well. Oh well, oh well. What's up, Homestead? Little Homestead by the beach. Hey, yeah, I don't like it. It's off center. Can you see that? It's off center. This is one I got before. Right here is the center. And it's tiny. It was supposed to be like this size. But I found it today and I said, hey, quiet listener, how's it going? I found it today. I said, you know what? Let's just go with a matching set, man. We're going to advertise. We're going to represent the channel. We're going to represent, because now, whoo, doggy, I don't know if all of you guys know, but I'm jumping into a bunch of us are jumping into the deep end of the pool. We are starting a podcast. Yes, my friends, I said it. We are starting a podcast. Let's see here if I can find it here. I might already be signed in there. Come on, YouTube. Come on, YouTube. Any day now. Yes, I'm already signed in because I was working on the YouTube. There's a YouTube channel that is just coming up. Okay, let me go ahead and share that screen. Actually, let me share the window. No. Right there. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Okay, here is what we're looking at, guys. Let me make this so I am smaller. We are starting a podcast, guys. There are 7 of us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, 7 of us. And yes, it is going to be phenomenal. There will always be 3 or more of us on a podcast. And we're recording our first one this coming week, God willing, and the creek don't rise and the creek don't get a vote. But it's a homesteading based channel, no borders, no limits, no BS. And what we'll do is we'll do a video podcast. Probably we'll do a video podcast on YouTube, and then we will switch over for an after party. I'm not going to say that the podcast on the after party is going to go as long because it starts getting late and some of us got kids and I got cats, but we will go to Patreon, our Patreon channel for the podcast. We're going to try to get this thing on Spotify, on all this stuff where we can, help out our channels, but most of all, it's when we get together, there's a core group of the 7 of us that are on this screen right now. When we get together, it is so much fun. We have a blast. We are laughing until you cry. We are joking. We are teaching. We are learning. We are picking Annie's brain about tomatoes and all that. And it is just amazing. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Exit full screen. There we go. But we're just having a blast. We don't have anything up there yet, but go ahead. And after this live stream or even during it, if you want, go ahead on over there and subscribe and hit that notification bell. We're hoping that our first podcast will hit in February. And then we're just going to, I think we're going to release, I don't know, I haven't really ran this by the other guys, but I think we're probably going to release 2 podcasts a month, maybe 3. I don't know. Probably 2, I would say. And then that way we can kind of store them ahead a little bit, because podcasts, these will be edited. They won't be live. So that we don't upset YouTube. Hey, Darren, what's up? You need to come up, Darren. I want to see your new underwear. I've said to literally no one ever before. Your birthday bash party. What time is your birthday bash party? But yeah, we are going to be having a fantastic blowout time on this, with like an hour of just us hitting all sorts of different topics, and then going over to Patreon where we can hit all sorts of topics without YouTube canceling us. Patreon does not have the restrictions that quiet listener, what time is your party? Your birthday bash. And happy birthday. 7 Pacific, unless people start loading the chat, I'll go live then. Okay, 7 Pacific. Hey Google, what time is 7 Pacific in Eastern time? Apparently Google's 10 p.m. Okay. I will try to be there. That's a little late for me. But the link's down here, guys. So I will try to make it. I usually go to bed around 9. I don't know. Hard days and nights. But guys, go check out Quiet Listeners' birthday bash. That's going to be cool. But yeah, as you can see, we got Annie from Back to Basics Homestead. We've got Angie from Me and You Acres. We have the fabulous Remy from Rem's Family Farm. We have Lynn from Bucket List Homestead. Darren from Thorhaven Farm. And maybe some appearances with by Bridgie. You never know. We have Marhy Lynn from Little Homestead by the Beach. And then you got this ugly old guy over here. This is going to be really, really awesome. I am excited about it. It's one of those things that, you know, I want people, and I think we all kind of want people to have access to this dynamic that we have, this family dynamic. I mean, these are all my brothers and sisters. And we just have such a blast. Now, this is kind of off the topic, but the Supreme Court, I heard, now, I don't know, the guy keeps talking about the Supreme Court, but he keeps showing the House committee and the Congress. And so I don't know if he knows what he's talking about or not. I'm going to have to check into it. But it sounds like the Supreme Court just overturned and permanently banned the assault weapons ban, or not the assault weapons ban, the magazine ban. Hold on one second. Hello, Trevor. You're live on THAM 141 Homestead. All right, bye. All right, I'll talk to you later, brother. Poor guy. Sounds like he's having a blast. Reset for 5 Pacific. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2. Wait. What time is that? Eastern. Yeah, he doesn't stay on long. Let's see. It's 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 8 for me. Okay. Yeah, I might be able to do that. But yeah, it is. I'm really excited for this. We're gonna be just having a ball. We have such a dynamic and so much fun when we're together that we want to open it up to everybody else in the homesteading community, and just share all sorts of stuff. And then, on the Patreon, we can even get a little crazy. We can say words like and not get in trouble. You like my little my buzzer there to buzz out the words that you can't, Did you know George Carlin got arrested the first time he did the 7 words you can't say on television? Of course, he was saying them on television. I sound like a mosquito. Well, as long as I don't sound like the words that were going through my mind when I was saying that, because that wouldn't be good. Yeah, the Supreme Court just shot down the magazine ban in, I believe it was Colorado, which is that sounds like a really good thing to me, because if they did, then that sets precedent. The Supreme Court sets precedent, and because we have a magazine ban in New York, with a hey, Life in the Valley. How's it going? We have a magazine ban in New York, and we can only have 10 rounds in a magazine, and hopefully that overturns that as well. I am so tired. Hey guys, by the way, if anybody, and I know I have people watching from Texas, if you are in his area, you want to vote for Brendan Herrera. Look him up, the AK guy on, the magazine, Firearms Magazine. The things that feed the pew pew. Because apparently there's a big difference whether you have 10 or 30. It doesn't matter. You can change out a 10 round magazine twice in the time it takes you, Anyway, I don't want to get my live stream canceled. But yeah, so let's see. We've got snow finally. The ground has frozen. I was finally able to plow without making any ruts in the mud under the snow. That was nice. It's hard because so much of the stuff I'm doing now, I can't. It's really hard for me to put on YouTube on the channel. Yes, did they? Because I know that they were given an ultimatum. It's funny. The federal government's going to give Texas an ultimatum. Texas used to be its own country, just so you know. And that needs to be taken care of. I do not understand why. Okay, if you're in the federal government and you're like, okay, we don't want to keep people from coming in because we don't want to hate them, we want to help them and all this other stuff, which I'm all for. I want to help people too. You want asylum in the United States, go to the embassy in your country and file for asylum. But I can see saying, okay, we're going to do this, and this policy, but then stopping the states from enforcing their borders with foreign countries. And guys, I'm all for immigration. What we're seeing is not immigration. What we're seeing is illegal aliens flooding our land. And then the federal government, through the federal agencies, such as the ATF and stuff like that, are passing regulations. This is a law. This is regulation. The people we vote for make laws. Federal agencies make regulations. A regulation is not a law. But they're making regulations saying, oh, if someone's an illegal immigrant, then we're going to allow them to purchase pew-pews. Yeah, I know. You be safe when you're in Vegas. Vegas is where SHOT Show is, right? But hey, what's the worst they're going to do? Demonetize my live? Okay, best 30 cents I ever spent. But it is, there's so the people we have in office all throughout the government are idiots. And they are subverting what they've begun doing is ever since Nancy Pelosi said those special words, well, we have to pass it so we can find out what's in it. You know, we have to pass the law so we can find out what's in the law. Nope. They're coming out with 1,000-page laws nobody but a lawyer can understand. And yes, I'm ranting. I'm sorry if this isn't your homesteading stuff. But listen, people, you got to wake up. You got to wake up. They're going to take our country away. And if they can take our country away in the United States, that is protected by the Constitution, how much easier is it going to be for them to take Canada and you know, we got to start waking up. So if you're in Texas, Brandon Herrera, look him up. He's got a channel on YouTube, Brandon Herrera. He is the AK guy. He builds and modifies AKs of all sites. He loves Russian weapons. But he is running for Congress because he has a Republican congressman that voted with Biden on a whole bunch of gun control legislation. That voted, yeah. Because what we've done is things got good. I grew up in a really good time, but things were still kind of hard. Well, then we started making things better for our kids. And I'm sorry, but the last couple generations that have come up, please don't take offense to this, but a lot of them were not brought up correctly. They're being indoctrinated into schools. People say, should we teach evolution in schools? And you're asking the wrong question. The right question is, should we have public schools? I think schools should and curriculum should be dictated by county, no higher than county, because what does the next county over, other than some weird circumstances, what does the next county over know about my kids? What does Albany know about kids in Port Leyden or Lewis County, where we have more cows than people? Literally, it's in the books. More cows than people. Guys, watch my video where I did the review of the movie, of the trailer for the movie Civil War. You don't want a civil war. Anybody with half a brain does not want war at all, does not want violence. I do not condone violence. Violence is the first result, or the first resource of a fool, and the last resource of a wise man. Violence is not a good thing until it is. But I do not condone violence. We need to take care of this in the ballot box. The problem is we have a cultural difference. It's not like in the Civil War of the 1800s, where it was the culture of the culture of the South and the culture of the North. I hate to tell you guys this. The Civil War of the United States was not fought over slavery. Wow! Let that sink in. I said what I said. The Civil War of the United States was not fought over slavery. Did that sound good? I hope I didn't blow out your ears. The Civil War of the United States was over federal rights and states' rights. Thank God our federal government isn't trying to stomp on states' rights anymore. Oops. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Dave. um, guys, listen. My pew-pews are not, I say again, not for assaulting anyone. They're for providing for me and my family, protecting me and my family. Yeah. Yeah. Um and it's so horrible, the kind of people that we are putting in offices. um they just don't have the common sense that a grasshopper rubs between its legs, or a cricket rubs between its legs to make a chirp. um it's sad, it really is. um but and you're like, well, Tracy, I came here to watch homesteading content. Man, what does this have to do with homesteading? The FDA has come out with several articles saying that gardening is dangerous to your health. I say again, gardening is dangerous to your health because of contaminants in your soil. Gardening is dangerous to your health because of contaminants in your soil. Guys, YouTube's not going to like this, and I really don't care. Can you tell I need somebody up here to keep me from totally getting my channel shut down, running my mouth. The first step is they come out with a study that says gardening is dangerous to your health because we want you to eat the crap that has no nutritional value we're selling you in the stores, the beef that have been hopped up on things, growth hormones and everything else. I am not a doctor. This is for entertainment and education only. Mr. YouTube. They come out with a study, then they come out with a regulation from an unelected agency, then they come out with a law to protect you. I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's really, really scary out there. It's scary because our way of life is being voted out by the people that live in the cities. And no offense to anybody living in the cities. You just don't understand. I remember walking through the parking lot at school and seeing some of my favorite objects in the back of truck windows. I remember the shop teacher, Mr. Leitner, telling one kid, because the kid's like, yeah, I'd like to make a stock for my dad's birthday for him. And Mr. Leitner's like, well, you got it with you, go out to your truck and bring it in. Never once did anyone think twice about it or harming someone. Why? We had morals. We had common sense. We had respect. And yes, we had fear. This is not the way I wanted this to go. I'm losing people. Oh, well. So anyway, um, so yeah, I'm very interested in starting this podcast on homesteading, uh, and where we can just get together and talk about our interests, because we all have very similar interests. It's not just all of our seed addictions. Remy, I'm looking at you. Um, it's not just our wanting to be self sufficient and provide for ourselves. A lot of it is our culture. We're like-minded in so many different ways. Um, and and it's going to be very informative and very, very fun. Um, and if it helps us in our channel, that's wonderful. But if not, then I'll have a bunch of time spent with friends, you know. Hi, Mahilin. Oh, did you miss my rant? Yeah, I sometimes go off on a tangent. It's not fun, I know. Um, but yeah. What else do I have to do except watch the sky get dark? We've had such dark. I mean, yesterday we had some beautiful sun out. There was some nice sun out, and I really enjoyed it. Uh, then yeah, I don't have a whole lot other than I am really excited for this podcast. No, today there was a little bit of sun. Um, it wasn't a very long or direct sun on the panels, but it was mostly cloudy. Whereas yesterday was just blue skies. But yeah, we were mostly cloudy today. The sun peeked out from time to time, enough so I don't have to run the generator for now. Because that started being a ritual that I didn't. This spring, I think I'm gonna start looking this spring. Right now, it being winter and stuff, I don't know, and I'm working on my finances and stuff a little bit right now. But I'll probably get rabbits in the spring, if I can, find them. Which somebody told me to get hold of them. A good blend of Francophone and Anglophone Canada. The English speakers have American heritage. I don't know what Francophone or Anglophone Canada is. You go up. I don't know what those are, Dave. Maybe France, the France and the French speakers and the Caucasian. Caucasian is not the right word. Right. So you would be a francophone? Yeah. English and French speakers. Yeah. Yeah. We unfortunately, I don't know. Our melting pot has apparently melted our brains. You get somebody in Congress, and next thing you know, they turn into moron. Can I still say moron? I forget. There's so many words I can't say. But yeah, so what do you guys want to talk about? The rabbits, I'm hoping to get them in the spring. Because I've got to get the cages and stuff like that. I got to have 2 cages, one for the buck and one for the doe. Then I might mate them at some point, just to have a litter and go through that whole thing of putting them in the freezer. Make sure I like the meat before I get so far into it that I can't. I know this summer I'm going to have to do something with my chickens. I need to put them in the freezer. Three. Oh, nice. Hi, Melanie. Yeah, I need Alex. Hey, how's it going? My next door neighbor. Yeah, I need to come out with a video for tomorrow. They've changed the praise practice to earlier. So bonjour. I'm sorry. Melanie, I am, how do you say idiot in French? I am an idiot. So pay no mind. But you need to, Melanie, you need to come to the meetup or the conference, whatever they have. Oh, idiot is idiot. That makes sense. That makes it easier for the idiots. Idiot. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Because for some reason, French people have a problem with the last letter of a word. Idiot. But yeah, you need to come to the conference. We'll meet up. Whatever. I don't know. Let's see. So yeah, more tractor videos. I was gonna do it the other day. Oh, good. Good. Okay, good. Good. That was a long time coming. But yeah, with the ground frozen, I was gonna go ahead and film plowing the other day, but I did most of the plowing in second gear. It was such light, fluffy snow that I was able to do it in second gear. It wasn't anything big. You know, last year I was like, oh, we got 2 feet of snow. This is how the Branson handles 2 feet of snow. And now in my yard, when I went out to fill the bird feeders, I was walking in, my boots are like 13 inches high, and it was just to the top of my boots where I haven't plowed. So, it's I just don't have enough snow. Now, that being said, a project that I need to do sooner rather than later before it warms up again is I need to get the oh goodness, the claw, oh goodness, the loggy thingy that, yeah. Anyway, I need to get these logs blocked up so that they will have all winter, and then, or all the rest of the winter. Yeah, the clamp. um the grapple, that's it. The grapple. And get I got a pile of wood up here. Yeah, can you imagine? My mind just crapped on me. But that way my wood will be able to start drying for next year. It's been down for quite a while. I think we took it down last year. I think we're Grapple sounds like a Pokemon name. But yeah, so I need to do that before it warms up again. At least put some gas through my saw. And that would be a video. I don't know. My batteries, I've had, when I did do a plowing video, when we did have a little bit, we had maybe 12 inches, 13 inches of snow, and it fell at once, and my camera had problems. My GoPro, it was a problem with the card, the mini SD card. Focus. Come on, focus. Oh well. And so that didn't come out. I want to do another pew pew video with the updated FBI qualification test that I've got. Because that's always fun. Yeah. Yeah. Willows, if I remember right, they have very shallow. Do they have shallow roots? So it's safer to cut them when there's the frost is binding the roots in the ground. But yeah, other than that, I've been working on this No Borders Homesteaders podcast, getting that ready. This coming week, we will be recording the first podcast, the first one, and then hopefully we'll be able to keep doing one a week. If we record one a week and we release 2 a month, then that should help us to keep up, because come the end of April, May, it starts getting real busy on homesteads. So we'll definitely want to do that. And I'm in with a group of homesteaders that these people, a lot of them work full-time jobs. A lot of them have kids, and they still homestead, and they're so tired. I think of Remy and Annie and Angie and Mike and Patrick, and no makeup required. However, I showed you the uniform I sent. Hold on a second. If he wanted to, I'm not going to tell Darren he has to do anything. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's take this to Facebook. I sent out all the women and Darren. I went on Amazon. And where all the women and Darren on the podcast. Oh, come on. That's not it. I keep going by it. Where'd it go? I bought them each one of these. Oh, I probably should share my. Yeah, I'll show it. I apologize. I wanted to get through to the. Well, come on. Yes. Yeah, wanting to do your own pickles, not enough time. Yeah. Oh yes. It's okay. It's tiny. But yeah, that's the uniform all the women and Darren have to wear. Because why not? You know, you got eye candy, you want to use it. No, I'm just joking. I canceled all the orders because Marilyn's like, no, I don't want to wear that, and Angie's like, no, I don't want to wear that. So Darren never did reply, so he might have actually been looking forward to it. But hey, you can. Oh yeah, I know. It's this stuff that somebody put something in my Kickstart, man. Oh my goodness. Oh. Yeah, see, Darren's all in, man. He's gonna live stream. He is gonna shoot his podcast segment because we're using StreamYard from the hot tub. Yeah, how did the beer turn out, Marilyn? If my stinking thing'll. Darren already has one. I like it. America. But, oh, I don't remember what beer I told you about, Dave. Well, you were making a whole kegs of it, I thought. And then we found out you didn't drink. Your poor boyfriend must be drinking a lot. Oh, I don't know. I am looking forward to the podcast, getting together with friends and opening everything up. The one with honey, ginger, and lime balm turned out great from what I heard. Nice. 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 I think I might go ahead and start brewing some beer because, well, for trade, I do not drink alcohol for recreation. But I don't hold it against those who do, and might be nice to be able to trade it to people. The one fermenting now is mandarin balm with coriander seeds. Ooh, interesting. That is interesting. Mandarin with coriander. So it's got kind of a citrusy, coriandery flavor. Oh, goodness. So, yeah, guys, don't forget to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that little notification bell here. Then, if you would, if you're interested in having a blast of a time with a bunch of us on a podcast, because yes, it's pre-recorded, but I plan on when we release them, I plan on at least me being in the chat, kind of probably do what do you call them there, the premieres, so we can talk about different things in the chat and stuff. And then we'll probably do some live streams when we can get 2 or 3 of us together. The only dangerous thing about live streams is if once we get used to the after show on Patreon, then doing a live stream on YouTube might be a little bit hinky for all of us together. I mean, we don't get vulgar or anything like that. We just, some of us use words that YouTube doesn't like. Not the 4-letter kind. Most of them are 3-letter kind. The G blank N, that word they don't like. Yeah, we just have a lot of fun together. I mean, it's awesome. And you guys, we pick on each other, we laugh, we cry, we feed into each other's jokes. I walk into jokes all the time. No. But it's just going to be a great time. And then we're going to have on the Patreon, it's going to be just a blast. And it's we're gonna give information. We're gonna answer different questions. We're gonna have guests on the show. Hopefully, we'll be able to get some decent guests. Sometimes we fight-ish. Yes, I am afraid. I have to say, some of the joking around that we have done recently has made me a little concerned when I see Marilyn and Angie they're liable to swat me in the back of the head or hit me in the face with a rock. Because, well, we were talking about the evils of estrogen, and that's never good when you're talking to women. I don't know why I can't get a date. My opening line is estrogen is evil and should be destroyed. Oh. But we'll be talking about topic. I mean, we're going to be unfiltered. The editing that is going to be done is maybe bleeping out, because like in the first, I think it's 30 seconds on YouTube, you're not allowed to use certain words. Free speech is a thing that is common in Canada. It's uncommon anymore. Oh, you got to be careful what you think. You were thinking about the orange guy that was president. You were thinking about him, weren't you? I am so offended. Yeah, I have the quite honestly, that's what it is I have a right to think and say anything I want to think and say. And if you don't like what I am thinking or saying, you have a right to not be around me when I'm thinking and saying it. That's all. Hey, Remy here. Where were you? You were supposed to keep me. My channel's gonna die. I started talking politics and Supreme Court. Hey, Remy, how you doing, man? I'm and hitting the hard stuff. Remy's always on time. You can't really start until he gets here. But yeah, I was just telling everybody about the podcast and how I'm excited for it. How we've got the YouTube channel up and running with no content yet. Hey, Ren! Do we have the Drake or the raccoon? I'm thinking it's the Drake. How you doing, Jack? Hi, Lindsay. Oh. Well, yes, of course, always. But yeah, we're going to be talking about homesteading and different subjects that affect our lives, because there's so much more. I mean, yes, there's the animals, there's gardening. But guys, homesteading is a way of life. It How do I want to say this? Yeah, content's overrated. Yeah, the snow's a good. The poo. I will send it. Send it. I have a tractor and will remove it. Have a tractor and will remove it. But yeah, there's so many different things that we can talk about. Homesteading filters in. It's like coffee grounds in a coffee pot, in a coffee maker. You put the coffee grounds there. You have an empty canister here, and you put the water in, and the coffee merges with the water. Once they're connected, you would have to have quite the machinery to separate the coffee from the water. Yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of like with homesteading. You have homesteading homesteading, and then you pour your life into the homesteading, and what you end up with, homesteading is a part of every aspect of your life, whether it be the self-sufficiency, whether it be the animals, the gardening, the how you remove snow, how you think about things, how you protect you and yours. And is this a political you guys not on YouTube. In the after show maybe, but actually actually I don't think we're going to get into a lot of politics unless everybody's on board with it, for the simple reason YouTube, number one, doesn't like it. And we are going to be doing the first half of, or the first section of the podcast is going to be on YouTube. And then the second part of the podcast, the after show, will be on Patreon, where we'll be freer to talk about things, but we still have our governments that are watching what we say and what we do. And I wait to have a vindictive activist shut down somebody's channel because of what was said, what I said, or something like that. I still feel horrible. Annie from Back to Basics Homestead, we talked about some stuff on her live. We knew we were skirting the edge, but we didn't think we stepped over it. But I think we did. Yeah, we do have different political views on a lot of subjects. I mean, like the 2A stuff, I think. Well, we're the whole spectrum. Whereas we have one whom I love very much, that that doesn't really want to have a pew pew in their home. And then we have another one on the other side of the spectrum that literally sells accessories for them. And maybe even them, I'm not quite sure. So we're on the whole broad spectrum, but we are living proof that you can have different views on things and different opinions on certain things and still love each other. I mean, my constitutional 2A stuff is, I'm very passionate about it. However, my First Amendment stuff I'm very passionate about, and that says that you have a right to believe what you want to believe. You have a right to live in the way you want to believe. You can think what you want to think. You can do what you want to do. You can say what you want to say, what you want to say. Okay, somebody put something in this, didn't they? Yeah. Yeah, we all have that right. Guys, I'm going to let you in on a secret. Come here. I've been wrong before. A couple times. I'd say several times, but the one time I was only mistaken. Thought I was wrong, but I was just mistaken. But yeah, man. And that's just a couple times an hour. But there is so much. Yeah, this is my first one, And I did it for this because there's an energy that I like to exude on my on my podcast. I don't have a podcast yet, coming in February. But it's we all have a right to feel different ways about different things, and my friends that are doing this podcast with me, No Borders Homesteaders, on YouTube, you can go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified. Yeah, we would love to have both of you. I think we're not sure when it's going to be. We're not sure what the conference is going to look like this year. Scott from Rambling with the Brooms is saying that he would be willing to take it over, and then My Canadian Life or something like that we're trying to get them together so that, they can work out. But I'm hoping it's going to be in like early May. The man who needs no introduction, ladies and gentlemen, Darren from Thorhaven Farm.
What's going on? I heard you a little earlier. You were like kind of going on a little tangent, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta save him. I gotta rescue him. He's gotta come back." But then I was kind of in the middle of doing something, so I couldn't save you at that time.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I appreciate it. What's that? Oh,
Remy's like, I'm leaving now.
That's okay. We're up to like 10 people in here right now. So, but yeah, I am so excited over this podcast because I think we're just going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah,
good.
Yeah, if I'm hoping that Ren's Homestead can go. Spring is going to be busy. I thought it said easy at first, but I could still be. But yeah, leave Lindsay in charge. She's old enough now. Is it Lindsay's a daughter, right? Yeah. I think. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, she's got to be all of what? 10 now? Kenzie. Lindsay's the mom. Okay. Back, Lindsay and Kenzie. Yeah, leave Kenzie in charge. She's got to be like 10. My mind is not working tonight. Throw him a lifeline.
Yeah.
Yes. We want Jack and Lindsay at the conference. I don't.
Oh, all of them would be good.
Yeah, get them all there. You know what? Find your most responsible piglet and put them in charge.
Exactly.
Of course, they got sheep now, and
well, you'll have no problem with anyone running the farm, right?
Right. Yeah. What could they mess up more than
World Affairs?
Ottawa? I almost said Toronto. Toronto, for all you Americans out there, Toronto is not the capital of Canada. It's Ottawa.
Capital of Ontario.
Oh, it's not the capital of all of Canada?
Nope, Ottawa.
I mean, Ottawa is all of Canada, and Toronto is the capital of Ontario.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, Jack, they agree. Kenzie, she's a mature 7. Hey, speaking of which, my grandson just turned 8 yesterday. So maybe I'll bring him up and we can make some introductions. Yeah, the big animals. I don't know how that would work because the big animals are like sheep, goats, and cows, which are all herbivores. The pigs might eat everything.
Yeah. They have zero, they'll just, I'm going to munch on this. I don't know if you had that, Tracy, but like when we had our pigs, they eat everything. So this year we decided we're putting the water barrel on top of a big concrete slab. Like the tractor can hardly move it. So I figure the pigs cannot move it. The water barrel goes on top, and then we took 2 straps and strapped it to the post. And then they're coming up and they're trying to eat the straps and the tags on the straps. And it's just like, are you kidding me? Like, it doesn't matter what it is. They'll try and eat it.
Yeah. Yeah. You keep them well fed. They have all the food they ever want. And you come out one day and half the wall is missing from their hutch.
Yeah.
If you sleep in the pig pen, they'll eat. Yeah. There was that guy that was in Canada, right across the border out west a little ways. He was a secure. Was it prostitute? Was he doing prostitutes or just hitchhikers? And he was killing them and feeding them to the pigs. Yeah, they found bones that they connected to a lot of people, but you just cut them up and feed them to the pigs. I mean, hey, cheap feed, but by the same token, it'd be kind of expensive after a while. Once the FBI knocks on the door and the RCMP,
Yeah. Yeah.
Am I angling for a visa? Maybe. I have the shirt to prove it. I am an honorary Canadian. I showed it. I was wearing it when I crossed the border last time, and they let me right in.
Gotta love it.
Of course, I was in the back seat on the other side, so I don't know if the guy actually saw it, but
it's so funny because you come up to the border, and if you're Canadian going across to the US, they're like, have you done any drugs in the past? And you're like, maybe. And they're like, you can't come in. Do you have a firearm? Oh, you can come in. And then the other way, it's like, have you done any drugs in the past? Yeah, maybe. Okay, no problem. Do you have a pistol? You can't come in. That's like the exact opposite.
Yeah. Yeah. Getting into Canada was so much easier than getting back into the States. Trevor and I, it was funny because we're coming back through, and his dad joke.
Yeah.
Sorry. We're coming back through, and the guy starts asking Trevor's questions. Now, Trevor, this was his first border crossing where it was, because we went into Canada, no problem. Can I see your IDs? What are you here for? Do you have anything to declare? Okay, go on in. And then we were coming back into the States, and the guy starts asking him questions. He says, what'd you do while you were in Canada? And Trevor says, oh, we were riding. And we have a flatbed trailer with a big UTV on it, side by side. And he says, that? And I wanted so bad to say, no, each other, but I didn't. that was wrong. But it would have been, but what did he think we were riding in Canada? Yeah, the big thing on the trailer there, that's kind of why we brought it.
Yeah, exactly.
And but Trevor's all nervous and stuff, and I'm like, Trevor, dude, you gotta calm down, or we're gonna end up pulling over in here all night. We'll be his pigs.
I get to head the shot show on Saturday and cross the border. It's always fun. Like, what are you doing?
No,
Going
you're
down
not
the
flying?
shop. Like, yeah, we're flying. So, but going through the airport one is like,
Okay.
you know,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That's a good weight. We usually aim for 250.
Yeah, we do too.
But that's a good weight. If they get too big, they get really really fatty.
Yeah, we found that the
Oh,
250 is kind of
Lindsay,
the ideal.
I miss youth group with you guys too. One of my, well, I can't say she's a little girl anymore. She's a teenager now, but she used to come to our youth group that Wendy and I and Trevor and Matt and Tammy had years ago. We had to stop it because of the what do I call it? The sickness that went around. Yeah, she's 12 now. Yeah, fat on pigs is a good thing, but there comes a point where you get too much.
Yeah. They say like 250 is that cutoff where it's perfect kind of timing. If you continue feeding them, you're paying more for the feed to go into fat than into muscle. So it's kind of that mix where you can get them bigger and it's good, it's awesome. But if you're paying to feed them, then that's kind of the optimum.
Yeah.
And then we had one the first year when we did it with friends, and they just kept fattening them up, and there was like 4 inches of fat on that thing. And then if you don't butcher yourself, well, then you're paying for all that fat, which, is not very good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And here we get them, we try to get them early June, when the snow's all gone. But then once you hit late October, you're just paying to keep them warm. They're using their food to keep warm. My internet's going hinky. I thought I shut that down.
Yeah, pasturing helps. And when you're feeding them, a lot of leftover food, so lots of veggies and that kind of stuff that you can get, scraps from the kitchen, that's actually much better. It's that 254 when you're feeding them that they say is, once you start going over that and paying for feed nonstop, then more of it goes into fat and more goes into muscle. You're still going to get that muscle build up in that, but and again, it's like it also depends on how much fat you want. Like the ones we harvest are not that fatty at all, so for sure we could go over the 250 without a problem.
Yeah.
So I think it's more for the commercial industry or something like that. Probably, I don't know.
Yeah, 700 and 800 pounds. Yeah, I've seen breeders get big enough you could ride like a horse.
Yeah.
I've been told they aren't overly fat.
It was like 750, something like that.
Hey, John, welcome. But yeah, it's amazing how well animals do when they're eating what they're supposed to. Now, pigs will eat meat. Pigs will eat anything, but they do really good. Joel Salatin. I almost said Joel Olstein. Two totally different people.
Totally different.
Joel,
both preaching.
Yep.
Just
Joel Salatin. They rotate their pigs like they rotate their cattle. Maybe not quite as often, and his pigs are just so healthy. He says it's amazing when you're able to rotate them and get them so that they're not in a field full of plops of poop. And then they let the chickens go behind them and they get the bugs out of the poop and scratch the poop. So the poop goes in the ground. He says, it's amazing. We don't have to use antibiotics in our meat.
You shouldn't have to anyway, to a certain degree.
No.
However, the problem is as well. So like our little one was sick a few months back. So we had to use antibiotics. Otherwise, we might have lost her. So,
yeah.
But again, it's, 2 years from now, that antibiotics will be.
Yeah. Well, now here in the States, like if you used to be able to go and get penicillin and stuff right from Tractor Supply, you say, hey, I got a sick pig. Now you have to go to a vet and get a prescription to get it from Tractor Supply, because they caught on. It's the same stuff for humans as they use for animals. So people were buying the stuff, and the FDA didn't have their hand in it. But
it was great when I was managing the horse farm. The vet would give us stuff like, we need some penicillin, we need some Atravet, Ace, Tranks, all that kind of stuff. It would be like, here you go, no problem. Like once you build up that rapport with the vet, then you're good to go. A lot of times it's crazy because, you get a good vet and they're like, here's the antibiotics, or here's the Trank, you do what you need to do. Cause we trust you. We've, they've either dealt with you so long, or you've been there with them and helped administer it or something. So they know what's going on and that sort of thing. And you're not asking for tons and tons of it, but you get the odd vet and they're like, nope, we're going to come out every day and administer the shot and charge you for it. And then you have the small animal vets that are like, we're going to charge you triple what the large animal vet is charging, and you have to bring your animal to us instead of us going to you. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Crazy.
We've decided that this year, when we get our piglets, because we get them from breeders that are full-time breeders, and the very first thing we're going to do when we take them off the back of the truck one at a time, shot of ivermectin, because we routinely lose like a pig or two. Well, about a pig a year, a piglet a year. You get that one that's a little bit skinny, then you look down and you see his bones, and then by time you're like, okay, I need to get this pig some help. By time you get down to Tractor Supply and back with the shot or whatever, or get hold of a vet, it's too far gone. So this time we're just gonna give each one their piglets. So it's an anti-parasite type medication. So
but we pour it on the back of the cows. So actually, do we use that one? I forget which one we use.
Yeah. And so it should be out of their system and out of the meat by time they're adults.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah. Marilyn, Remy saying, you need two, you can sell one for the cost of what. Yeah, that's what I do. I raise one to sell. Actually, I raise 1.5 to sell, and then I keep what I need. And it pays, the one I sell pays for all my butchering and stuff, so I don't feel that large takeout. Get them in the spring, freezer camp in October. Then I've got a little hutch, a little, I don't know, it's like the lean-tos that they have to camp in and stuff, so they can get out of the rain and wind.
Yeah.
From a provincially stamped butcher and rendered there or at the inspected kitchen facility. Yeah. They're trying to do that kind of stuff in the States right now. for the last couple years, there has been an ongoing saga of there's an Amish guy, and they would raise the food, they'd raise the animals, the vegetables and stuff they didn't seem to care about, but they'd raise the animals, butcher the animals on site, package them up and everything, and sell them to their neighbors, in packages and stuff. And the FBI or the FDA, along with the FBI or Department of whoever controls the food or whatever, raided them. I mean, going after Amish with AR-15s and stuff. It was horrible because he's not paying sales tax, and all this other stuff. He's not getting that stamp. He's not getting their permission. Did you find your kitchen? Oh, that's right. They have a Lindsay, this is Darren from Thorhaven Farm. He has a YouTube channel. He is in Northern Ontario. Let's
Quebec.
put it this way. What's that? Northern Quebec? Oh, I'm sorry. I like it. Let's put it this way. When his wife says, yeah, there was a bear in the yard today, he says, brown, black, or white? He's up there a ways. Yeah, I would just get regular report. Hey, JMB. Oh, okay. From Ontario and now lives in Quebec with his lovely wife and his children. How's your son's leg coming?
Good. He got, it was 17 staples. So, wow. Yeah.
His son was playing hockey and got his leg stepped on. His calf was stepped on, and it was the most beautiful cut. I mean, it was nice. Yeah, you might. I've had knives that don't cut meat that nice.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
And is he planning on getting back on the ice when it's all healed up?
As soon as he can. Yeah.
Awesome. I would need to already have 2 half sold, and they are not. It's amazing. You will find people willing to buy.
Yeah.
We have ours sold pretty much before we buy them. Lindsay accepted the runt for a reduced price for some reason. It's never worth it to work with bad genetics. One of the piglets is double the size of runt. Yeah, well, at a reduced price, and it can still get up there when the others hit between 200 and 250. The runt can be 175, 200, somewhere in there. She just felt bad for it. That's all. Okay, he's a homesteader. Let's see. She has a hard time turning down someone with a sales pitch. I don't have that. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It gets
those
kind of
sales reps.
Yeah. Go darn it. I tell you, they should all go to Las Vegas and take me with them to SHOT Show. I am so jealous of that. Hey, Patrick.
It used to be fun when I went there for myself. Now it's just more work, walking around a lot, talking a lot. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're actually going for work. And
yeah, day one, the Monday is usually the shoot. So they have basically a civvy shoot and a mill shoot. And I used to go to the mill shoot all the time. And it was fun. But now instead of going to the shoot, I'm in meetings. So
I was just watching Brandon Herrera just did a review of the U.S. Army's new battle rifle. And it's in I want to say 308. I know he had one, but there's another thing there's another caliber that's really similar to 308.
6.5 Creedmoor.
That might be it. All right. Bye, Lindsay. Tell everybody I said hi. It's got you have the charging handle like a regular AR type rifle, but then on the left side, there's also a charging handle that you can pull back. It has an internal spring on the bolt instead of a buffer spring in the buttstock. What did he call it? Brendan Herrera is the guy's name that did the review, and he's more of an AK guy. Okay. He loves AKs, but he said it shoots good. There was some stuff he didn't like it. Like if you put the magazine in and slap it with the bolt back, then when you try to let the bolt forward, it'll jam on the magazine.
Okay.
It didn't have a good enough, but it's a different system. It's a piston operated gas. It was just really cool to see the different thing. This hat is pointed too. Oh, I got to stop wearing this hat. I got to get a new one. But yeah, guys, if you are in Texas, vote for Brandon Herrera. He's running for Congress, and he's common sense. I mean, check him out. Make sure he aligns with your release.
I wondered if you were talking about the SIG XM7.
Yes, I think it is a SIG. It's got
looks like it's got the side charging handle.
Yeah, there's a charging, and he said he understood why they had it that way, but you have to kind of put your finger in the charging in the hole because the charging handle kind of folds forward when you let it go.
Yeah, so
just so you don't get it full of crap and stuff, but they got a little work to do on it, but I don't know. I'm thinking you give the rifleman. I mean, you can chamber.
They'll go back to the AR.
Yeah.
Well, not the AR, but that style platform.
Right.
The M4.
Yeah. And they were gonna. It's something 7. I think he said it was.
Yeah.
They were gonna, yeah. Because they were gonna call it they wanted to call it an M5, but they ended up doing it as a 7. I just learned that I can turn a screw and alter the fuel intake and add an additional 10 horsepower to my tractor. They artificially lowered the horsepower of the engine to comply with emission laws.
Interesting.
Nice.
I wonder if I can do that with my John Deere.
I don't know. You got to be careful with John Deere. A lot of times, if you do anything with them else that their mechanics don't do, they'll void your warranty on you. And then did you hear what they were doing? They were in Europe. They were literally, they got the computers that measure that'll keep you going straight in a straight line. It's like a cruise control. You're just in there and you got to
yeah, on the tractors, yeah.
But
there's a lot of that in North America as well. A lot of that technology that will basically keep you on a straight line, satellite link.
Keep track of the yield and all that. And what they were doing is they were taking that information and they were getting it in the hands of the people who set the prices for the whatever grain it was. And they were artificially controlling the market because they knew, okay, this is going to be a low yield year, or this is going to be a high yield, so they got.
That stuff's neat too, because when you are harvesting, you can link up tractors together. So basically, if you're on the combine doing a harvest, then the tractors can link up. So if you're emptying your load into the tractor trailer or into the wagon, both will travel at the same speed, that sort of thing. So makes it easier.
Yeah. Man, what a job that's got to be. Just driving in a straight line.
It's so funny because I look at stuff now. I watch a few of the farming channels, and there's guys like the Millennial Farmer. Great guy, great spokesman for the industry. And, they're inside the combine doing a live. And it's like, I remember my uncle had one where the combine was open front. Yeah. So you're driving the combine and you're sucking in the dust. And you're hearing the racket and all that. And it's like, I remember him running that one year, I think it was. And like, I don't know why he was running it, because he still had like a newer one. But that thing was crazy.
Yeah. It's amazing. The fact that you can be on the tractor and hear, even with an external mic, that's asking a lot for any microphone to cut out a tractor engine.
Yeah.
But yeah, just riding all, and I've heard about it, and I knew about it and all that stuff, how they got to plot it out where the field is and the rows. But I went to Indiana with my friend Alan, and to take his daughter to college, and we were driving through some of the corn, down the interstate and stuff, some of the cornfields and stuff. As far as you can see, it's flat as Florida, but it's just cornfield.
Yeah.
And you could literally go in a straight line for half, because they don't go really fast with those. Go a straight line for 3 hours and then make a left, go in a straight line for half an hour or 2 hours, and then 3 hours back.
Yeah.
Wow. Some of the stuff they've got, and it's like I posted a meme the other day, and it had a frozen windmill and solar panels covered with snow. And Remy's like, "Are you trying to tell me we shouldn't go solar?" And on an industrial side of things, to provide electricity to a community in the Northeast or in the North, I don't think it's a really good idea, because you're just not getting the return, especially in the winter. They've got ways of sweeping them off and all that stuff, the solar panels, but hey, Buttercup and Fern, but on a personal level, what's that?
I think what has to happen is, with a lot of this stuff, they want to do it on commercial scale. Government owned, big corporation owned, where, they won't let the little guy do it. So if you have a stream, there's very tight regulations in a lot of places where you can't set up your own hydropower. There's, if you want to do, say, a community windmill or a community solar power with, say, the people on your street, you can't do that. It's like, I would love to see but again, like we talked about this before with firearms, a lot of the laws that people want to bring in, a lot of the regulations that people want to bring in are not for the benefit of people. It's for the benefit of those who are in power.
Yeah.
And so if we actually went to more community style, so instead of, a massive solar plant in the middle of somewhere, or all these wind turbines, along a mountainside, if we did it where, say, on my homestead, we set up one 10 kilowatt windmill, and we worked with our neighbors, and maybe our neighbors set up solar power, and maybe our neighbor down the street set up a little hydro thing in their stream. And then we could all kind of share power with, maybe this kilometer area, that kind of community where that's impossible to do. So
but that makes sense.
Is more manageable, more efficient, better use of everything we do. We're not wasting the electricity kind of thing, as like we transport it across the country.
We have
those right there instead of a very few people.
We had the Black River, we had the Moose River, and a couple other rivers in the Black River Valley area, and we used to make all sorts of electricity. The only dam that is still making electricity is in Denley, between Port Leyden and Boonville, New York, and that powers Boonville, and so they can get real cheap electricity. Now, the solar panels and stuff, I don't know this for a fact, but the solar panels that they've been putting up as you go through Lowville, farmers are saying, hey, I'll lease this land, for X amount of years to a solar company, and they'll pay me. I'm making more money than I would farming. Yeah. Same with the turbines, the wind turbines. But all that electricity gets sent to two places, New York City or Canada. Because we have different, the United States has different trade things with Canada on some of that stuff. And there's no one, somebody said something about putting solar panels on the top of every building in New York City. That might provide like 20% of what they need.
It's so funny because to me, solar is, you need other stuff with it. Like you and Patrick know that it's not always going to be there. And the cost over a period of time has to make sense as well. Mm-hmm. So when we looked at trying to put solar on our greenhouse to run water, or put solar on the chicken coop and that sort of stuff, it's a lot of money for very little payoff in that short-term kind of thing. So even when we looked at putting a 10 kilowatt windmill on our farm, it would have run the house and everything, no problem. It would have been $80,000. That would have taken us, I think we figured it out to be like 30 to 40 years. I forget what it was, to pay it off versus using the regular hydro that we get anyway. Right. So why are we going to invest $80K versus being cheaper over the
right? Right. And I know with a lot of the grid tied solar, where you have them put solar panels on your roof, and then it feeds into the system, and you buy basically they credit you. They say, okay, you made this many kilowatts this summer, so this winter you're credited that, and you can get a free electric bill.
Yeah.
But it still costs you like $30,000 after the $30,000 grants. And the problem I see is, okay, if General Electric wants to pay Farmer Bob for a portion of his field or all of his field and put up solar panels or windmills, that's great, because General Electric has done their math. They say, okay, this is going to pay us to do this. We're going to make money off this. And so that makes sense. However, what's going on is they're going to say, okay, is now they're saying, okay, we're going to lease the land from Farmer Bob. We're going to put up the stuff, and then the government is going to subsidize, because we're doing solar. The government's going to give us money for doing solar. They're going to pay for most of it, and they're
going to loan us the money to set it up.
And then they're not going to make us pay it back. So yeah, you're making money, but you're making more money off the government than you are the electricity you're creating.
Yeah.
And without the government subsidies on big projects like that, it wouldn't be worth it. Now on a house by house or small town size thing, absolutely. You get 3 or 4 families that say, hey,
for us doing it that way, the environmental impact would be a lot less. So if you take, for example, a river coming down through a valley, right? If you dam that up and try and provide power for a city, you're going to cause a massive, massive environmental damage for that. Whereas if you have one person every kilometer, say, and they've got a pipe coming off that river to run a water wheel, and then that water feeds back into the stream, the environmental damage from that is what? Minimal?
You're not even warming the water. Makes no sense. My small
Anyway,
system.
I'm going to jump off. I'm going to grab another drink and get ready for my live. So
all right,
be over there. If not, all good.
All right, we'll see you in a few minutes then.
Talk to you in a bit.
Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah.
System has a 5-year payback of growing food. Yeah. I have a 1,000-watt system right now, and I want to add more panels. I have 1,000 watts of panels. I want to add more panels. I have 800 amp hours of battery backup. And you can see, got to turn the other way. The lights back there, those are run on 3 AA batteries. Okay. My lights are on their own system that I can recharge from my system. I make what I need. It'll run my freezer. I use my microwave once today. I use my coffee pot 3 times today. Coffee maker. I used, I don't know how many times my water pump in my well kicked on, and everything I have has been under $5,000. Now I bought my panels used, and I want to get new panels. I want to get more panels, but yeah, it's one of those things that you have to search out. Okay, what can I do without? If I wanted to run a hair dryer for any amount of time, I'm going to have to start the generator. You get several cloudy days in a row, I have to run the generator to take a shower, just so that it doesn't draw my batteries way, way down when my well pump kicks on. So you have to do the math. You have to find out what you need, but you don't have to pay $30,000. There are ways you can do it yourself. Everything I have comes from Amazon. The solar panels come from a friend that he got them used from a solar farm in Arizona, New Mexico. But I built it myself. And I have no issues. I can run anything I want to a point. You know, I have every night before I go to bed, I check, how are my batteries? Every morning I wake up, how are my batteries? Every morning, first thing I do before coffee, before my quiet time, before I get online, I'm looking at the solar panels. Oh, there's snow on the solar panels. It's still pretty dark out. I go out and clean the solar panels off. There's some work to it, but man, it's worth it. And if something goes wrong, I have to fix it, which is another another proponent or another good reason to build your own system is that your intimate knowledge of that system, because it's going to be you that has to fix it if something goes wrong. Hey guys, I'm going to go ahead and head out. Darren's going to be starting in like 10 minutes. Who was that let's see here. She was having a birthday bash. Was it Life in the Valley? Let's see here. Oh, Quiet Listener, I think it was. Yeah, Quiet Listener is having her birthday bash. And then Darren at Thorhaven Farm is going live in about 8 minutes. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and let you go so I can run potty and get rid of the kickstart and the water I've been drinking. Check out No Borders Homesteaders. Our icon is a white circle with NBH in it. And somewhere here, Marhy-Lynn had put it up. But check that out. We will be, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell on that. In the beginning of February, I'm hoping to start scheduling podcasts. Yeah. Yep, there it is. Marhy-Lynn just put it up. Thank you, Marhy-Lynn. You are the bestest moderator I've ever had. And that's saying something because I've had a few moderators. So No Borders Homesteaders. And here's the link. Let me see if I can switch this to where it'll automatically take. What do you mean I don't have permission to view that account? What in the world? What in the world? It's telling me I don't have permission to get to my own. Oh, I signed out of it. Okay, switch account. I'll try to get this where it'll send you guys right over there. Content. Live. Woo, I get it. Do that. Today. Customization. Redirect. Add. Come on. THOR Haven Farm. All right. This will take you as soon as I get off. It should take us all right to Darren's live. All right, guys. I'm going to head on out. Y'all have a great day. And God bless. Stay warm out there, guys. Remember, if the girls don't find you handy, no, if the girls don't find you handsome, at least